it's very true that we know spermidine can be replenished through diet. It's just our diet, or the quality of what we eat kind of sucks.
Exactly.
Now, if someone were more in charge of their diet and having a higher quality resource available, whether that's a farm, like you said, a lot of the blue zones, they're making their own. The soil isn't as depleted. It's not conventionally done. What are those foods that are highest in spermidine?
Well, the thing that we see classically, besides wheat germ, is fermented soy products. So I don't know if you've ever eaten natto. Good on you. God bless you, because I can't choke that down. So that's something that's typically very high. There are some naturally grown mushrooms, things like that, some hard cheeses. Again, I think of the food that if I were traveling through Tuscany and I were stopping at the roadside to eat some local farm food, you're probably going to find high spermidine rich food, because of the nature of it. If you're driving through Kansas and you're getting food that was raised on a 20,000 acre farm and harvested with $1 million machines, probably not going to be there.
Yeah. Again, the unfortunate part of living in the United States. But we all are in the same boat, or we should say most of the world. It's not just the United States. I mean, conventional, food and the food industry has changed rapidly, even in developing countries. Now, one of the trigger words of many people are wheat. Gluten, we associate with it. So tell me about people with gluten sensitivities or celiac disease. Is Spermidine Life something that they can take?
We have many celiac patients who are using Spermidine. Now, let's be clear. There is a very small amount of gluten in our product. We're a wheat germ extract, and it's when you look at the Celiac Association, what they tell you is you want to have your gluten consumption below 10 to 50 milligrams per day. In a serving of Spermidine Life, we have 1 milligram. So now my wife has celiacs, okay? And I'm telling you, I've held her hair back way too many times when she's gotten polluted, and she is militant on preventing the introduction of gluten into her diet. So we have to be careful. Now, to be called gluten-free, you have to be below 50 parts per million in the product. Okay. We're about 1,000 parts per million in our dose. But if you just take our capsule, we have a lot of people that break it into a protein shake. You immediately your parts per million go way up, right? Your million goes up and your parts stay the same. And we see a lot of people manage it that way. But if you do have someone who is gluten sensitive, celiac, something like that, listen, you got to be careful. There's just no two ways about it. Again, we've all experienced this. And but we do have we have a great doctor out in Boulder, Dr. Elizabeth Yurth, and she talks about the benefits of the improved endothelial and epithelial cell development that comes with spermidine. And many times she believes heals the gut. And there is a benefit. There's a greater, it's all risk benefit, right? So there's a greater benefit to the lowering of inflammation in the gut and the improvement of those epithelial stem cells than there is risk from exposure to gluten.
Right.
So work with your doctor, go slow, but we have a lot of celiac patients who use our product that we hear from.
That's good to know.